India's first private orbital rocket, Vikram-1, is all set for launch, and the rocket will lift off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh at about 11:30 a.m. local time. Now, standing 22 meters tall, Vikram-1 marks a major milestone for India's emerging private space sector, and the launch is a big step forward for the country's commercial space ambitions. The multi-stage launch vehicle is capable of carrying satellites weighing up to 350 kilograms to low Earth orbit. The rocket has been built with an all-carbon composite structure and is powered by indigenously developed propulsion systems. Vikram-1 will carry multiple technology demonstration payloads, including Skyroute's in-house satellite payload called SCOPE. It is designed to validate onboard spacecraft telemetry, communications, and mission navigation technologies. A specialized Earth observation nanosatellite called Solaris S3 is also on board Vikram-1, and an innovative robotic arm embrace and microsatellite technology demonstration payload are also on board. Now, this will be the first time a privately designed and developed orbital-class rocket attempts to fly from Indian soil. The mission will also mark India's first attempt to place a privately built rocket into the orbit. Vikram-1 has been developed by Hyderabad-based Skyroute Aerospace. The company was founded in 2018 by former ISRO engineers Pawan Chandana and Nagabharat. This will be Vikram-1's maiden flight. As a test mission, it is designed to validate the rocket systems under real space flight conditions.
Shivani.
All right, to give us more details on this, our principal correspondent, Siddharth MP, is joining us live from Sriharikota. Siddharth, thank you so much for joining us. And this is, of course, a great mission in terms of space and for India. It's just a couple of hours, of course, we're going to see that happen. Tell us more about this mission.
In fact, it was 40 years ago that India first launched a rocket into space. That was the year 1980, and that was a rocket known as SLV-3, Space Launch Vehicle 3, which was launched by the Indian Space Agency, ISRO. Of course, that was a government effort back in the day. And here we are 46 years later, and for the first time ever, an Indian private company will be launching a rocket that they themselves designed and developed into space. So this is why this is such a big milestone. Because in all these years, the Indian space activities were a monopoly of the government, which means only ISRO could build, design, and develop and launch rockets and satellites. But in 2020, about 6 years ago, the government decided that the space sector had to be thrown open to all sorts of players, which means private industry, startups, anyone who has ambition and anyone who has the capability should be able to come forward and explore what they can do in the space sector. That is government reform that enabled private players to build rockets, build satellites and launch them on their own. So this is exactly what has happened over the last several years. And now we are seeing that result. Over the last several years, these companies have been working on developing their technologies. And now is that moment of truth where Skyroute is going to launch their rocket to space and see how it fares in this particular mission. So that's what makes this mission so significant.
Right. Siddharth, also what we know is that, of course, it's carrying a lot of technology. It has Solaris S3 and all these robotic arm. Tell us about what would be the mission and what would be the aim of this launch.
So there are multiple ways to test rockets. Rockets can be tested through software simulation. Rockets can be test fired on the ground. But ultimately, how much ever you run on a treadmill or in simulated conditions, it doesn't match like running a marathon or running a race, right? The race day or a marathon day is eventually your end goal. And that's exactly what spaceflight is about, because you have to really fly to see if your rocket works. And that is what today is for Skyroute Aerospace. They've done all the testing that they possibly can. But today is the day they'll have to really fly the rocket to space and see if it works as intended. That's the whole idea behind what's going to happen today. It's going to be a 16-minute long mission. And in about this short duration, the rocket will travel almost 450 kilometers above the Earth if all goes well. So that's the idea, to test all the systems of the rocket, because as they say, it is rocket science. And obviously, the smallest of errors can cost the whole mission. So this is what they want to do. They want to ensure that they've gotten everything right. They want to ensure that they can prove their rocket. Typically in rocketry, the first 3 flights of any rocket are considered developmental flights, where they try and figure out if everything is working well. So this is that for Skyroot Aerospace. This is their first flight. So they will do at least 2 or 3 more such test flights before they declare the rocket truly operational. So now is a crucial phase where this company tries to figure out if all that they've done over these years is really going to fructify today and take them to space. So certainly a crucial moment, not just for Skyroot Aerospace, but for the larger Indian private space sector as well.
All right, so of course we'll be waiting to see that happen. Hopefully successfully. We'll be waiting to see that and get you again on the broadcast to give us more details on that. Well, thank you so much, Siddharth, for all the information. I appreciate it.